How is it going, guys? Hope you're doing just fine. Today we made an awesome video for you, super rare and valuable US error coins from Don Bonser collection, which was showcased at Heritage on March 28th. Starting with this Lincoln penny from 1977 with no mint mark. Grade that means day 62 by PCGS, brown variety. As obviously seen, it has huge cut die break between 10-12 o'clocks. Also one barely noticeable cut at 7 o'clock. This exquisite gem was sold for $690 on March 28, 2022 at Heritage Auctions. Moving along to next lot. This is 1973 Lincoln cent with mint mark S, graded at mint stage 64 by NGC. Weight is 2.25 grams. It was struck on a Roosevelt dime planchet. As evidently seen, it's also broad struck towards the south due to irrelevant diameter of given planchet. Crazy mint error. It was sold for $930 on March 28, 2022 at Heritage Auctions. Next comes 1977 S, 5 cent or Jefferson nickel struck on a dime planche as well. Grade as PR67 cameo by NGC. Weight is 2.3 grams. Each side is beautifully preserved, showing watery field reflectivity and sharp frosty central devices. The strike is slightly off-center towards 3 o'clock, making the date and liberty readable, but forcing "In God We Trust" off the flan. It was sold for $1,051.20 at the same session of Heritage. Another Lincoln cent, another wrong planchet error. Graded at mint stage 64 by NGC. Weight is 2.27 grams. Also struck on the Roosevelt dime planchet. It was bargained for $1,140 on March 28th. This one is 1973 S Eisenhower dollar with double struck and broad struck errors combined. Grade as PR67 by NGC. The first strike was in color, producing a reeded edge on the coin, while the second strike was out of color, allowing the planchet to expand in all directions. No edge cracks are seen. Deep watery fields produce modest cameo contrast against the satiny devices, and the light golden hue adorns each side. This magnificent piece ended up selling for $2,040 on March 28th. Here is 1973 half dollar double struck, both strikes off center. Grade as PR68 cameo by NGC. Both strikes are out of color and off-center toward 2 o'clock, with the planchet expanding in the margin and the stress cracked at 12 o'clock. The fields are brilliant and watery, while the devices show sharp definition and smooth satiny luster. It was sold for $2,640 on March 28, 2022. Moving along to 1970 S large date Lincoln cent, multi-struck on a 10 cent planchet. Grade as PR66 cameo by NGC. At least 3 die impressions are discernible around the border legends on this piece, while the central devices are frosty and show no obvious rotation between strikes. The fields are deeply mirrored and brilliant, providing pleasing cameo contrast. The planchet is well centered in the dies, leaving the rim poorly defined but all legends readable. This incredible error coin ended up selling for $2,640 at Heritage. Yet another $1 clad, Eisenhower dollar multi-struck and broad struck. At least 2 die impressions are evident, with all strikes occurring out of color. The planchet is greatly expanded beyond the normal wings, but design is well centered and sharp. A linear strike through in the left reverse margin is also noted, brilliant and dramatically contrasted. This gem was sold for $303.60 at March 28th session of Heritage. And the last one, 1972 S Roosevelt time, double struck, both off center, graded as PR67 by NGC. Both sides are off center toward 12 o'clock and are out of color, with the planchet greatly expanded so that none of the border legends run off the flank. 2 planchet stretch cracks appear at 11:30 and 12:30. relative to the obverse. The fields are deeply reflective and there is slight russet toning in the centers. This bad boy ended up selling for $3,600 on March 28, 2020.